once drank an entire bottle of wine in less than an hour and felt so sober that I thought my husband must have watered it down or something. So I checked with the breathalyzer that I kept in my purse, and even though I felt absolutely nothing, I was already way over the legal limit. It was really scary. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? It took me years to understand that it wasn't that I had a high tolerance for alcohol. I just had a really high tolerance for ignoring what was going on in my body. I'm Colleen Freeland, founder of Emotional Sobriety Coaching and host of the It's Not About the Alcohol podcast. And I have created a holistic approach to help high-achieving women change their relationship with alcohol, not with willpower, but with mindfulness and nervous system regulation. This is the first of 5 videos in my Take It or Leave It roadmap series. And by the end, you will have a crystal clear understanding of what it actually takes to become the version of you who genuinely believes that less is more when it comes to drinking. But the first step in that journey to becoming her is to understand that your drinking and your inability to feel like 1 or 2 drinks is enough actually makes perfect sense. I know that might be hard for you to hear right now because if you're anything like most women I work with, you've spent a lot of energy being frustrated with yourself because it doesn't make sense. You're in control in every other area of your life. You accomplish more before lunch than most people do in a week. You're the type of person who always follows through. Unless it comes to alcohol. I remember saying straight up to one of my friends, I am a very honest person. The only thing I actually ever lie about is how much I've had to drink. And we both laughed, but I just hope she didn't take a sip of my water because, yeah, there was vodka in it. But I prided myself on having integrity, even if that meant being honest about the fact that I was probably lying. And while that didn't make sense to me at the time, it does now. And by the end of this video, it's going to make sense for you too. Let me paint the picture of what I've gone through. I drank at least a bottle of wine every single night for 15 years. And yet I still ran marathons and taught hot power yoga. I had 4 kids and a full-time job and a huge house that most certainly did not organize itself. The mental load that I carried in any given day was enough to make anybody want to drink. And I thought that I was just living my best life. I was ambitious. I had a lot of energy. And I thought that my ability to run circles around everybody else was what made me special. People knew that I was always up for a good time, but nobody actually knew how much I drank. And every single morning, I wondered what the hell was wrong with me? Why couldn't I just take a night off like a normal person or have a couple of drinks with my friends and then go home and go to bed instead of going home and opening another bottle of wine? And whenever I woke up with those itchy, bloodshot eyes and that parched taste in my mouth, I would promise myself, tonight is going to be different. But then I'd slide into happy hour right on time, like that was the plan all along. And the only sense that I could make of that was that something was really wrong with me. And it took me years to figure out that, in fact, nothing was wrong with me. My nervous system had just learned to cope with all of the overwhelm and the stress in the fastest, most efficient way possible. It's not like I was willing to slow down long enough to explore any of the other options. And that's what I want to explain to you today, the biological and neurological effects of stress and overwhelm. Here's what's actually happening. Your nervous system has 2 different states, regulated and dysregulated. The regulated version of you feels calm and capable. Your brain works, you can think clearly, you can see the big picture. You're moving through life one step at a time at a sustainable pace. Think of it like aerobic exercise. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're between a 5 and a 6. You're working, maybe even sweating, but you can talk, you can breathe. You're in your window of tolerance. The dysregulated version of you is running a sprint. This is the equivalent to anaerobic exercise. There's not enough oxygen to talk and focus on anything else. Your mind is racing. Your breathing is shallow. You feel tense and urgent, like you're racing to the finish line. But when the finish line never comes, because you live in a chronic state of survival mode, your body is flooded constantly with cortisol and adrenaline. Those are your stress hormones. You're also a dopamine junkie, always searching for the next hit because you're uncomfortable. You think that you can't relax until something out there changes and all the problems get solved because you've fixed and figured everything out. And marinating your body in stress hormones is biologically very expensive because you're burning through all all of your energy reserves. And if you don't know how to shut off the production of your stress hormones, how to complete the stress cycle, then at some point you cross the line between stress and overwhelm. And that's when your nervous system hits the override button, because you can only ignore the internal distress signals for so long. The ones that say, hey, I can't keep going like this. At some point, your body just can't care anymore about all of your goals that you're setting for yourself, or all the plans you have for your future, or all the good intentions that you wrote about in your self-improvement journal. Let me explain the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Most busy, highly productive women spend the majority of their time in a state of dysregulation because they think that's normal. They think that that's what makes them successful. They wouldn't know what to do with a peaceful, easygoing day if it bit them in the ass, because they would feel lazy, like they're letting themselves and everybody down if they're not running at full speed. And that's why trying not to drink in the evening feels like trying not to cough. You can only hold your breath for so long before your nervous system no longer has the capacity to follow your brain's instructions. Dysregulated you isn't capable of evaluating her options and making the smartest decisions. She's going to go straight to whatever's worked before, whatever helps the fastest, whatever is easiest. And for a lot of high-performing women, that's alcohol. Because alcohol is a drug, not a party favor or a food group. It's a depressant, meaning that it slows down your central nervous system. It mutes the internal signals of distress, and it quiets the chaos in your brain. And when your nervous system has been running in survival mode all day long, then drinking feels like a relief, because it is a relief. Temporary and borrowed relief, but relief nonetheless. Your brain is not stupid. It learns very, very fast. And every time you have poured alcohol on your dysregulated nervous system and then experienced relief, you've reinforced the idea that alcohol is like your medicine. So your brain files alcohol under solutions, and now it associates drinking with stress relief. You're like Pavlov's dog. Every time you feel stressed, your brain starts playing the alcohol commercials. And that's not a character flaw. That is your brain doing exactly what brains are designed to do, finding what works and then memorizing and automating the process so you don't even have to think about it anymore. You didn't develop a drinking problem. You developed a coping mechanism, a survival strategy. The only problem is that this solution has side effects that you didn't sign up for. Now, let's do a quick gut check. Think about the last time that you tried to take a night off. Not some dramatic detox, not a 30-day challenge, just a regular Tuesday night where you had told yourself, you know what, I'm going to go to bed sober tonight. What happened inside of you when it came time to make a different choice? Was it neutral, like deciding not to have dessert because the meal was enough? Or did it feel like something was being taken away, like the evening was going to be harder, less enjoyable, more stressful without it? If so, that feeling is not a sign that you're weak. That feeling is your nervous system giving you very accurate information about what it has learned. And what it has learned is simply that drinking helps you transition from on to off. And until something changes at that level, the nervous system level, then willpower is never going to be enough, because you're not just changing a habit, you're fighting against your own survival instincts. But here's the good news, and I mean it. It's good news. The exact same brain that learned this pattern can learn a different one, but not by trying harder or making rules and promises that you might not be able to keep, but by actually changing what's happening in your nervous system. The neural pathways that have been running your relationship with alcohol were built through repetition. They only feel permanent because you've reinforced them thousands of times, but they're not permanent. They're just well practiced, and you can start practicing something different. For now, I want you to just start noticing when your body is dysregulated. Notice when you feel pressure and when you feel tension, when you're responding to things from a place of intensity and urgency. Don't try to fix it, just start noticing. Because the whole point of this video is to help you understand that your desire to drink is coming from your body, not your brain. And learning better ways to give yourself what you really need in a way that actually feels good, that's the solution. Because when you feel good, You drink good. It's really not that complicated. Over the next 4 videos, I'm going to take you even deeper into this content, into this work, so that after you've watched all 5, you're going to have a crystal clear understanding about what it's really going to take to become the version of you who can genuinely take or leave alcohol. Because here's what I've learned after working with thousands of women. The ones who actually are able to change for real, for good, are not the ones who listen to the most content or try the hardest. They're the ones who trust me when I tell them, this really is not about the alcohol. And the way you'll know when you're there is when you can look at your own drinking and see that, yeah, wow, that does make perfect sense. So I will see you in the next video where I'm going to tell you how to know if your drinking is actually a problem, and if it is, exactly what to do about it.